Take one.
We might have a few extra takes this week.
Welcome back to the podcast, guys.
It's episode 5.
Episode
We've made
5.
it to a whole 5.
A whole hand.
A whole hand.
So for episode 5, we wanted to do a little bit of a more chill, fun,
Like celebrate a mini milestone.
and by doing that, we thought we would get stoned, which we are, and just share a bunch of funny stoned or drunk or honestly just like funny stories.
Yeah.
And like we have some that we don't know about each other, probably, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so we will be stoned reacting to them. But we just want to have a chill episode, switch it up. Also, comment down below setup wise, because we're trying out a new setup. We were trying to have a more chilled episode, but now we're liking the setup.
Yeah.
Quiet on set. And we might keep going with it. I feel like we probably will.
I think it's comfy. Yeah, I guess we'll see what we're like on the big screen.
Yeah. In the cinema. Yeah. Well, do you want to do catch up?
Let's do catch up because yes, I've been gone for a couple days. We took a little trip.
Me too.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even know that you're going to Seattle. When you were like, oh, we went to Seattle, we went to Target. I was like,
Very unplanned.
what? Why didn't I know about this? Why wasn't I invited? But yeah, so I went to the Okanagan. Honestly, it was super chill, super like family oriented, kind of like camping style. But yeah, just like stopped at lots of little lakes and like Bromley Rock, I think.
I don't know if I've heard of it.
Anyways, so it's like kind of a cliff jumping area.
Oh, is that what
and,
was on your
like,
story? Or no, the video
Yeah.
you sent me of like the little waterfalls? Like was the water like coming down? the
Yeah,
rocks?
yeah.
That's
So
nice.
there was a few. I know I had to think about it for a second, but yeah, no, it was super chill. I mean, it was just fun, like summer road trip.
I'm all laughing at you.
We stopped at Allison Lake. Have you ever stopped there?
No.
It's like on the side of the highway, but like they have like these bigger kind of cabins, and I literally was like, this is so cheaper by the dozen vibes. Like
I love
cheaper by the
that
dozen
movie.
too. Yeah, seriously. So I don't know. That's the kind of vibes that were. That's the kind of vibes that were.
I'm gonna have so much fun editing this because none of it's gonna make sense.
We left Sunday night and then we got back last night, Wednesday night, I guess. So yeah, we were gone for like 3 full days, but it was fun, kind of like the one last little cap to summer. So
I know, and even honestly, September 1st, walking to work, I think I started at like 7 or something. I could
chilly.
feel, I'm like, it's September 1st. Like it
Yeah.
actually, summer's ending. I
Yeah.
think this week's supposed to be super hot,
Mhm.
but I think that's gonna be it. And we only made it on one boat,
I know. What the?
which was one more than last year. So,
Wait.
so next year
You're right.
we'll get to
Last year.
3.
Oh no, last
Did
year.
you go on a boat last year? I did not.
No, I didn't. I did the year before. So yeah.
Okay.
One more than last year, but not a step up from the year before.
And
so.
I got invited so many times from like people I work with, but I was either working or away or
Yeah.
feeling like shit because I just always feel like shit.
I feel that.
Like something's wrong with me.
Maybe not after this
Yeah.
healthy gut immunity
Poppy,
kit.
gut health. So you went away, yeah. I went to Seattle just overnight. It was my second time in Seattle.
Fun.
Last time was also a cook overnight. So I was hungover going there. But no, it was fun. It was just an overnight. Went to the Pop Culture Museum.
Cool.
Went to the tower thing.
Space
with the, yeah, ow! Fucker! So, it's funny because they can't see that there's a cat here. I'm watching a cat for a friend and he just attacked me.
Checks balls.
Yeah. Are you stoned?
Yeah. I am.
Yeah. But yeah, I went to the Space Needle. $100 to go up that thing.
Can you
Well,
eat
like
meat dinner up
Canadian.
there?
It's not even a full dinner. You can get food, but there's only 4 tables. So if you want to get food, it's like just a tiny little area.
Yeah.
There's a little bar, but it's just drinks. But it's not like here
What's-
where you
yeah,
can
what's
have
it
a
compared to
full-on
here?
meal and it's spinning. But it was still cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then went out, had some drinks, and got really, really stoned. I rode one of those scooters for the first time when you
like
pay
a
for.
scooter. Yeah, I did that in
Oh
LA.
my god. Okay, I used to make fun of them. Let me tell you how fun they are.
They're fun. They're
so
so fun.
fucking
They
fun.
Like, they actually go really fast.
Did you have to do like the beginner speed?
No.
The first time
We were in Santa Monica. Like, we were ripping around on those things.
The first time, because I had to make an account. I've never used it before. So I make an account, and so the first time you ride, there's a speed limit. Like, they won't go full speed. And so, but you can't ride on the sidewalk. So I'm riding on the fucking road, going nowhere near like the speed of the cars.
Yeah.
And people were honking at me, and I was so afraid because I wanted to go on the sidewalk. I didn't know you couldn't.
Why couldn't you?
And then at night, when it was later, I went on the sidewalk. But they go fucking fast. And
They do.
And I was trying to read directions on my phone, so I'm like using one hand, so I'm like this, going so fast. And I was trying to find a weed store.
Yeah.
But no, it was good.
No work, no luck.
No, I did find one.
Oh, good. I knew you would. But yeah, we totally have to go to Seattle together, especially for Target.
Target all the way.
Like,
Also, did
I'm
you
so
know?
Jealous.
I thought there's a Vancouver in Washington. Did you know that?
I knew that.
I did not know that. So every time I've read a 50 fucking Shade of Grey book or seen the movie, when they're like, oh, she's moving from Vancouver to Seattle, I was like, oh shit, like that bitch was living in Vancouver,
Washington.
But joke's on me.
That's like,
Vancouver,
did you know?
Washington. I was so upset about that.
There's a Grand Prairie, Texas. So actually, on the road trip, we were listening to true crime docuseries, like on podcasts.
Love that.
And one of them was like Grand Prairie, and like I know that they're not talking about GP, but like my boyfriend's mom was like, "Oh my god, did you hear that?" And I was like, "Okay, there's Grand Prairie, Texas." So
yeah,
I
did know that actually, but no, it was a good overnighter.
Good, I'm happy.
Yeah. You seem so happy.
I know. That's what happens when I'm so fucking happy for you. That's what happens when I get baked, you guys. I will think I said something out loud, which obviously I just did, but like I'll be so baked and I'll think of something, like, and then I'll ask my boyfriend, I'll be like, did I say that out loud? Like, did I say that or was I thinking it? Like, that's how Friday ghetto.
That has happened to me before. The one
That's
time.
how Friday ghetto. Get out of here.
I didn't even catch on. But that has happened to me before, and so I feel like that's gonna lead us into the first story because I forgot about that until you said that, and it's fucking funny. But when I was living in my old apartment,
I was like, okay, so you're gonna tell me?
Yeah. I'm getting there. When I was living in my old apartment, I was working at the Capitol. A couple of the guys that I worked with after work came over to smoke weed. And I just bought this new weed that I wasn't used to, and that's when I always had a bong, and I'm like, now I just roll joints, use like the little pipe because you can hide it better, or like it's not just like, around. But I had like a full-on bong in my apartment, and so I would usually just fill like a whole bowl. But then I got new weed, and I did the same thing, and I took the first two, and so they're there. I got so stoned. And Julian put on, I can't remember what show it is. It's an animated show, but it's like super inappropriate and it's like kind of spacey.
Futurama.
No, it's kind of like that though. It's like a newer version of it, but still kind of the same thing. But it was tripping me out because it's like all the colors and like it's kind of like an acid TV show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was freaking me out. And so I was laying on the couch and I was thinking. But I was also saying out loud and I didn't know. And I was like, no, hey, don't scratch the couch. And so I didn't know that I was saying it out loud, and I was like, man, I'm stoned. And I'm sitting there and they didn't say anything. And then I'm like, I really want these guys to get out of here. Like I'm saying this out loud. I'm like, I really want, like I'm like talking about my friends and I'm like, I need them to leave. Like I want them to leave. And Julian's like, are you okay, Janelle? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm just pretty tired, so I think maybe you guys should go because I'm really tired. And he's just like,
they knew.
And he's like, yeah, we heard you the first time. And I'm like, literally like, I just want these guys to get the fuck out of here.
So
because
funny.
I thought I was talking, just like thinking, and I was saying it out loud. I was fucked.
Like almost every time, like I just, fucking think something and I think I said it, and then it'll be a couple minutes later. And Kay, I actually do this sometimes when I'm sober too, when I'm at work. Like, if I'm serving a bigger party, I get to like the 7th person and I'm like, I know I did my spiel, but they're looking at me and it's like taking them a while to respond. And so I'm like, did I say that out loud? Like, I know it sounds so fried, but it's so true. Like, it's
yeah,
so
I do that with
hard.
bills. I'm like, did you pay? I'm like, they could easily be like, no or yeah. And I'm like, did you pay? Yeah, you paid, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, did I talk to this fucking guy already?
Oh my god.
So bad. You need to tell your story.
So I actually recently like just started smoking weed again. I guess the last couple months, like comfortably, more like frequently. I quit smoking for like 2 years. Like when I say I did not smoke, I did not smoke. Like one puff of a joint every couple months. Like I hated getting baked because I was like so paranoid and so like uncomfortable. Like why would I smoke weed to do that to myself? Anyways, I started smoking weed again and was like comfortable enough to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna eat an edible. And I had this edible, I swear to God, it was like 1,000 milligrams. And on the label, it was like homemade, it was like extreme caution. Like, and so my boyfriend kind of laughed, like giggled, and I was like, what the fuck, like don't jinx me out. Like, you know, I was like, I don't want to get like that. And so anyways, I ate like the smallest piece of this edible, and I'm not even kidding you guys, like 45 minutes later, I was tripping out. Like I was on my hands and knees, like crawling back and forth from my headboard to the end of the bed. Like I was like sheer panic, and like it was not gradual, it was like out of the blue. Like I was like, my heart was racing, and like I literally was just, I've never been more stoned in my life. And I made my boyfriend, I was like, call 911, call 911. And he was like, what do you mean? Like, and so I'm pretty sure he called his mom, and I was like, no, call 911. His mom's a nurse. So anyway, she's like, oh my God, she's okay. You guys just like go for a walk, get fresh air. And here I am, like, absolutely not. I couldn't even stand. I couldn't even talk. Like, honestly, my boyfriend couldn't get any words out of me. Like, I was like, I wasn't even slurring. Like, I just couldn't talk. Or stand for that matter. Like I was just such a wreck. And so anyways, he dead ass calls 911, and like I remember we like went down to the apartment and or like at the front desk, and like because when he called, obviously they asked like what's the emergency. And so as stupid as it sounds, he's like, oh, my girlfriend ate an edible. Like, you know, they obviously aren't really taking it like too serious at the time. I'm actually pretty sure he was like, they're store bought, but they weren't. And so that's why I was like, oh my God, like tripping out even more. Anyway, so we went downstairs to the reception. This is when Chelsea worked here. Oh. And I was like, you need to call the ambulance. Like I probably didn't even sound like human. Like I was like, ambulance. I was fucking mad. Literally, and like Xavier's so scared. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's just probably,
he's also stoned.
He's also stoned, but he doesn't get paranoid like that. Anyway, so we're like, yeah, they don't think it's serious. Like, you have to call the ambulance again. Like, it's serious. And so whatever, they showed up, and this was when like COVID first was a thing, and so I wasn't vaccinated. And my boyfriend was like in the ambulance with me, like obviously like my parental guardian, like, and so they were just like, we're gonna like give her medicine, like needle form, I guess. And so I think at that point, like he was honestly super big too. We kind of looked at each other and like we both thought it was the vaccine. Like they were like flicking the needle, like it's okay. Like, and he was like, no, she doesn't want that. And like, but
literally something to help you.
It's like something to help me, but like I was so big. Like that's the whole, like, was I saying it out loud? Was it in my head? Like I was just like, that's like, I don't want that. It was so fucking bizarre. And anyway, so like,
that ruined it for you.
It ruined it for me.
I didn't realize that he called his mom first.
Yeah,
I thought he just called 911 first. I didn't know.
And then so anyways, they like checked me out, checked my vitals. Like I was fine, obviously like a high heart rate, but like I felt so stupid too. Like they asked me, oh, what's the issue? And I was like, oh, I took an edible. And then once we got to the hospital again later on, and I seen the actual doctor, he was like, oh, what happened? And I literally word for word was like, I know this sounds so silly, but I ate an edible. like I'm telling myself already that it's silly, but here I end up still at the hospital and telling the doctor like, oh, it's silly, but I ate an edible. And anyway,
honestly, the kind of shit they see, I'm sure that's like they don't even
feel bad to me. Like,
fuck.
Anytime.
And what if it was like your first time or something, or you ate it by accident?
Exactly, right? Like, who knows? And so, anyways, they checked me out. They were like, you know, we can't tell you that you need like medical advice, but like we can take you there. Like, you can take your own ride there. And so, I don't know, like, yeah, I'll take a ride with you guys. So I literally took a ride in the fucking ambulance. It wasn't even like a serious like get her there, like the sirens weren't even on. Like, we were just like literally like riding in an ambulance. Like, I'm so big, these guys are probably like, what a fucking waste of time. Anyway, so I remember at the time I was on like a super low carb diet, so I didn't really eat much that day, and I was starving. Like, I was like, I'm so hungry, but I had such bad pasties that I couldn't swallow. So I literally told them, I was like, I need a sandwich and I need a drink. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, miss, like, we can't give you both. Like, we can't risk you choking or throwing up. And I was like, I'm telling you right now, I'm so hungry. I need something to eat. I need a solid, but I'm also telling you, my mouth is so fucking dry. I need a drink. And here this little asswipe comes over, gives me a sandwich and a drink. Like, thank you. But I threw up in the cab, and so I'm like, in the cab, in the taxi, in the fucking ambulance. And so, oh my god, I threw up in the ambulance, and I was like, obviously I greened out. And that's when I like ate the munchies at the hospital, and they were like, yeah, you're good to go.
You're good to go. Okay, cut back. I don't know the term to use. Cut back.
Rolling.
Yeah, getting, I'm just thinking about, was that your first time having an edible?
It wasn't my first time.
My first time.
It was probably like my third or fourth time.
Oh, okay. But it was just because it was so strong.
It was such a like high potency like weed. And like the other times that I'd taken edibles was like in high school. Like, I smoked weed every day. Like, it just didn't affect me the same. And so I didn't smoke weed for like 2 years, and here I am just like tripping out. Like,
fun fact, first time I smoked weed was with Jordana at her house at lunch.
And that was the thing, is like, I never knew what greening out was. Like, I've never had that like super panicky feeling. And so like when I greened out, I was like, man, I can't believe I used to green kids out in high school. Like, I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I only greened out once. It was at a house party, and I took like a huge bong rip, and I was like 15 or no, 16, because we were in high school when I did it. And I instantly puked, like instantly. But I was also drinking, and so I can't do it now. So I think that it was just because I mixed it. But no, like the first time I had an edible, holy shit! I was in BC in the summertime with Alex, and we went. We got these suckers, and the whole sucker was 100 milligrams. And at this point, like, I don't smoke that much weed anyways, and it was my first edible. And I love candy. Seriously. And it was one of those candy green apple suckers with the caramel on the outside. Yeah. So good.
It's like you don't want to stop, you know?
And so I ate the whole thing. Yeah. Didn't even think about it. Ate the whole thing. Chewed it right up. Like, I didn't even wait for it to dissolve like a regular sucker. Like, I fucking chomped it. And I was so fucking stoned. And we were on the beach. It was so hot. And I fell asleep because I was stoned. Yeah. And so I think because I was stoned, but also laying in the sun for so long, when I woke up, I like sat up on my arms like this, and everything I looked at looked like it was zooming past my head. Like, I was hallucinating. And so I felt like I was walking for hours, and he would put me on his back for like a minute, and then put me down, not even like 10 seconds, and then put me down. And I think about it now, I'm like, why couldn't you take me to the top? Like, I'm not heavy. Like, why couldn't you take me all the way there? Exactly, And so he kept putting me down, and I was just like slowly getting up this hill, and people walking by were probably like, what the fuck is this girl doing? Because I can't even stand, and I'm like, I need help. Like, I was so fucked. And then when we got back to the house, I puked outside the house again, and oh my god, it was so bad. Yeah, like edibles still scare me. Like, I've only taken one edible, and it was a spray, and it was like the nicest transition. Like
Yeah.
you were laying there and you're like, oh no, I'm not stoned yet. And then since you thought about it, you're like, wait a second, I am. Like it's like the
Yeah,
calmest transition, and I haven't been able to find it. I didn't buy it, so
what
I'm
were
like,
those peach gummies? They were okay.
they were okay. I just hate the taste.
Oh, really?
It tastes like poison.
Oh.
Ugh.
I did have actually really good brownies this summer, like edible brownies, obviously. But yeah, they were like a really good high. I think they were like 5 grams. No, not 5 grams. Right?
Milligrams?
5 grams.
Milligrams.
Milligrams. Yeah, okay, 5 grams. Oh my
Yeah,
God, that'd be fucking
a lot.
crazy. That's a lot, girl. Yeah, so I guess 5 milligrams, but they were like good. Like I liked that high. I feel like once you find something that you like, you just can't stray away. But I know I was scared to have another edible after that experience.
Yeah. I didn't have one for
It's
a
the
long
worst
time.
experience I've ever had. Like everything else that's happened to me stoned, it's like funny, you know? Like it's funny now, but like at that moment I was like really, really messed up.
Yeah. We fucked up. Oh my god. I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, one time we were headed home from Calgary. It was like me, Ashley, Davey, Curtis. I want to say like Colston was there. I don't really remember, but I remember we were in Davey's vehicle because he was driving. But we smoked. We were like smoking weed in his Tahoe at the time, and we were like he literally was going so fast on the highway. It was like 160 or something. We got pulled over 3 times that road trip. Anyways, we thought we were gonna run out of gas, and we were like, no, we weren't anywhere even close to like 2 cities in between. And so we like Googled, like someone Googled it. I remember I was in the backseat just like looking at the clouds the whole time. Like they were just like shape shifting, and like it was so cool. Like I was blitzed, but we like were scrambling trying to find this like gas station, and ended up on this like res, but we were like all so high. It was kind of like abandoned, like it had like the creaky like shack door, like you know, and like a stray dog. And it was so weird. Like we didn't even get gas there. Like we all kind of just like had the same vibe. Yeah, exactly. Like we all just kind of had the same vibe. We're like, this place is like where you get shot. Like you don't trespass here. And so
yeah,
I don't even really remember what happened after that. But like I remember I was stoned that trip. Like we just a joint just kept going around. There was like 5 or 6 of us, and like yeah, just there was
the cops pull you over, just like hot box.
Seriously,
everyone's so stoned.
And then the third time that he got pulled over, I think I was already dropped off, but like, you know how he used to live in behind the mall?
Kind
Do you remember that house? Like, yeah, so like he was living there at the time, and like as soon as he took like one last turn to get to his house, he got pulled over for like tint or like something. And so he was like, you're joking, I got pulled over 3 times this trip.
Fuck. That's like when I was back home visiting. Jada was our DD, and we all were having drinks at the house. Jada had 1 when she first got there, and I thought she had more. I knew she wouldn't have driven if she did, but I was drunk, so I thought that she had more because we got pulled over on the way because she didn't have her lights on. And we were going to the den, and so we're all in there. It's like Matthew, me, Chase, and Jada. And Matthew and I are in the back seat panicking because we're both drunk, and I'm like, fuck, I think Jada's had like 3 drinks, and so she would be over her limit, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. And so we were so freaked out that she was going to be over her limit because she had to blow, because now every time you get pulled over, I'm pretty sure they breathalyze you. And especially that night, it's like Thursday, everyone's going to the den, like it's like the hot spot on Thursday. And so
If you don't know, now you know.
Yeah. You better know.
IYK.
Oh my god. And then leaving the frickin' casino.
Den?
The den.
Yeah,
Casino.
How'd you get there?
You just like teleport to the casino.
Well, okay, but was it the old den?
No, it was the new den.
Oh,
so it wasn't by the casino.
It was literally like 20 steps away.
She got pulled over again. Leaving. But she didn't get a ticket.
No.
But still. And it was because of her headlights again. And she's like, I already got pulled over.
I know. Here's the ticket.
It was my bad, but we were panicking in the back. Holy fuck.
Shit. I'm pretty sure actually one time we were in the mall parkade, like the GP mall, and I was driving a 5-seat vehicle, I guess 4 with me in it.
Yeah.
And so we had that bitch like packed, like I'm pretty sure there's 2 people in my like hatchback. And anyways,
going
we
to
like
parties in the back of the truck.
literally, no. We hotboxed it and then we like dropped 2 people off at the mall, so I was like a full car. Anyways, as I was leaving to go like out the mall, as I was leaving the mall, I was like changing the song. So my phone was down here, hands on the steering wheel, and there was a cop on top of the mall parkade that I guess like saw me, and so he like reported back to this other cop, you know, where there's like,
He was on the mall?
he was on top of the mall parkade.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah.
why is he on the roof?
Yeah. And so anyways, I was like leaving, and like, you know that Safeway that's like out there?
Mhm.
He literally,
Yeah.
a different officer walked into the middle of traffic, stopped me, and pulled me over. And I literally was like freaking out. Like I had a full car, I was like fucking danks in here. His arm was in the car, like, and he literally didn't say a thing. He was like, "You're getting a distracted driving ticket." And I was like, okay.
You're like, that's fine.
Yeah. I was tripping. Like it was bad.
Yeah.
But it could have been worse, but yeah.
Fuck.
And I was probably, I don't know, grade 12.
Yeah, that's like every time when I would drive around, we always had everyone in our friend group always had like a bong or fall in their car.
Yeah.
And so there was the one time I got pulled over and I was with Angus and I was like, pour the bong water out, like get it out of here. And he's just like, I can't pour it out right now. And I was just like, do something, hide it. So he like put it in his backpack and was trying not to hold it because there's like a full
It's like, it's obvious that you put it in something and you're like holding the backpack.
Yeah.
Like.
And it, because I'm like, it just smells like freaking resin here.
Yeah.
And he didn't say anything, but I was freaking out, and also too because like I never got pulled over.
Yeah.
And so it was the first time I was getting pulled over, and I was like, oh shit. And
I'm paraphernalia.
I have my I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he's like, ma'am, I need you to step out of the car.
Because I'm like, if he sees this, what if he searches the car, like,
Yeah,
or you know,
exactly.
thinks that I'm stoned or something? And yeah, that was the time where you had to go and like drive somewhere random to smoke weed, like
It was
either
like
go
the
to
docks.
the
The
docks
docks
or
fun.
the school parking lot late at night.
Yeah, school parking.
Or when I lived in Taylor Estates, like out when they were building the new houses, and you could go and it was like all
that
the
back
dirt
road kind of,
because it was like a construction area back there. Or one time Jada and I can't remember who else, I think it was Matthew. We went to smoke weed and we drove out of town. Like I drove out of fucking town. We're on a back dirt road.
We grew up where that's like the only thing to do.
Yeah. And so we're on this back road and we're sitting, and I had my truck off so I could turn the lights off.
Yeah.
But we had the music playing and we were sitting there for so long, my battery died.
Oh no.
We didn't know where we were, and so it's dark now. We're trying to call Kelsey and like give her our direct like turns. I'm like, okay, I was on this road and then I turned at that turn. I'm like trying to describe it the best so she can come find us, because we were just driving for fun, and finally we're like, oh, let's just park here. Like we weren't paying attention. And and so Kelsey finally comes and jumps the car, but I'm like, oh my god, like we're out in the middle of nowhere. Just like all stoned.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why
stuff.
things are like scary when you're stoned.
They are, because you're paranoid. I get so paranoid. Every time I hear a sound, I'm like, what was that? Is there someone breaking in the house?
It's because before that moment, it's like I'm actually really calm. And then I don't know why, but then something like that, my head just like
The one day I thought there was a guy on the balcony. How would he even get up here? Like,
in the windows.
Like
I know, but like me and Ax are watching a scary movie. Like I always want to watch a scary movie or like a crime documentary, which like I'm cool, I'm into that. But then when I'm super baked and Pete falls asleep and like all the lights are off, but like we're in our house, I'm like scared. I'm like, wake up, or I'll be like, are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? And he's like, I'm like, if you're sleeping, I'm changing it. And he was like, no, I'm watching it. But like I know he's sleeping, and so I'm like, I don't know why. I just like I trip myself out. I scare myself.
I'm so bad for it, like so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. I think it was my first time I took a dab. And again, it was when I was with Alex, and we're in the back.
Like, I don't know.
And we were in the backyard
At your house?
of his house, and so like it's like out in the, not in the middle of nowhere, but it's like surrounded by trees, and we're having a fire, and I got so stoned I couldn't even talk, and I was sitting by the fire like this. And
Now
I'm
we get
just
stoned and just all we do is talk.
Yeah. I was like, shut the fuck up. And so I was sitting there like this, and across the way,
Were you
one of his friends, no, I wasn't cold, I was just like so baked, like I couldn't move. And one of his friends was eating chips, and I was like, can you pass me the like I couldn't get the word chips out, like it was stuck in my fucking mouth. I'm like, chips. And he's like, these? I'm like, yeah. And finally, I'm like, I need to go to bed. And like, I couldn't even walk. And so he's like walking me to bed because I was so fucking stoned. I couldn't even fucking talk. Like, I couldn't function. Or like the one time I told the Uber delivery guy that I loved him. Did I ever tell you that?
No.
I ordered food not too long ago, like a month ago. And I was so stoned, and the buzzer wasn't working, and so I had to go down. Oh no, the front door, no one was at the front, so they couldn't unlock the doors, so he couldn't even get into the buzzer. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm so stoned. So he calls me to tell me that the buzzer's not working, and I was like, okay, I'll be right down. He goes, okay, bye. And I said, okay, bye, I love you. And then I was like, oh. And then I hung up. And I was just like, oh my god, now I have to go face him.
It's so funny.
I have to go get it.
Yeah. You're like, oh no, it wasn't you.
It was so awkward. Like, I forgot who I was talking to. For a split second. I was like, love you.
Oh my god, that was like 2 New Year's ago. I was so hungover. I literally slept in my living room for 3 days straight. Like, I woke up and I watched TV, but like I just like didn't leave my freaking living room. And so I was craving ramen. Like, that was like my hangover thing when I lived downtown. I haven't had ramen in so long. I can't wait for like fall season to just have ramen. And anyways, the guy, it's so stupid. You like need a BC number to like have a buzzer up here, right? And
is that why I can't have one?
I think you need to have a BC number.
Mine's not BC, and mine never worked when I lived by myself.
Yeah. And so anyways, he was like, I can't get up. And I was like, I'm not going down. And he was like, I can't get up to you. You have to come down here. And I was like, come up here. Like, I was so hungover. I was hungover. Like, I had a rockin' headache. Like, I just was like, ew, oh my god, I'm so hungover. And so I was so fucking angry at him. Like, he made me go down there. I was like, get someone at the front desk to buzz you up, floor 10. Like, yeah. And he just wouldn't. And so, yeah, that was funny. I was so hungover. Like,
get up here.
Literally. And he was like,
That's so fucking funny.
He was being stubborn. I was being stubborn, but I was like, fuck, I gotta get my food. So, yeah. I literally laid in my living room for 3 days. Like,
at least you didn't have to go get the food from the store.
No, you're right. I had to go down.
I'm so bad for that when I'm stoned. I'll order from Subway.
Yeah.
Subway's across the street, okay? Let me just tell you that.
Pick it up?
No.
Oh, the delivery.
I'll bring it here.
Okay, I've done that with Boston Pizza.
Yeah, me too.
Literally, I have 0 F's when I'm hungover. Like, I'm like,
didn't give a fuck.
Whatever. I spent $200 last night. Oh, okay, yeah, let's go for another like $100 meal. Like, you know, I'm just
all
like,
day.
The damage is done.
Bring it, keep bringing it.
Yeah, literally, I'm like, oh shit, that was a $40 skip for 2 people. Like, skip's expensive. And so then I always go back, so I'm like, I'm like, $40 in groceries isn't a lot, but it's like more than just one meal, you know what I mean? So when we order off Skip and it's 40 bucks, I'm like, exactly.
Yeah, so, I know.
That's why I try not to eat Skip now.
I don't even want to know how much I've spent on Uber.
I tallied it up one month. It was like $600, you guys. I'm not even joking you. I could print the receipts out like off my banking app. Okay, it was for 2 people, and we did not grocery shop like that whole month. But like even then, our groceries a month are like $300. Like, I don't know why it was double. We were eating double.
That's like when I went to.
I delete skip, and then I'll be hungover.
Yeah, I
and then I'll
delete
download
Uber, and the other day, the morning, I deleted it.
Yeah.
That night, I got stoned. I was like, download.
Yeah,
like,
it's so
easy. All you do is put in your fucking phone number and it goes into your account.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing to download
stop
it
you
again.
from doing shit.
So bad. But like when I went to the BC Lions game like a couple weeks ago, and I got so many margaritas, and I was ordering them in twos because you can take two, and that's it. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get two at a time. So I got two. I tipped, because I can't not tip, even if they don't do anything. If there's a tip option, I'll fucking tip. And so it was like 25 for two. And I went back, drank them really quick, went back, got two more, and then we were gonna go back in, and they're like, oh, why don't we just hold them and you go get another two so you can take four. I was like, oh my god, great idea. So I gave them, and I went back literally a minute after and did the exact same transaction, and my bank account was sending me notifications being like, we think you have multiple charges, we think that you've been charged like 3 times for incorrectly. I'm like, no, RBC. That was just me buying double time margaritas back to back to back.
That's so funny.
And I was hammered.
Yeah.
I stood up and I was like, whoa.
It's always when you sit up, or when you sit down to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and you're sitting there and you're like,
yeah, literally, you're just like swinging.
Ew,
And, like, cut. You're literally like swing, and you're just like, you have like a little bit of smile. You're like, you know, internally thinking.
You are smiling.
Fun. Like,
do boys do that? I want to know. When you're drunk, do you know? Because they pee all over the fucking floor when they're drunk.
Yeah.
But I want to know if they are feeling the same way.
Yeah, right.
Because like when I sit down, I got my hands, my elbows on my knees, and I'm like this. Yeah. And I'm just like.
That's when I'm really effed up. Like if I'm like starting to feel lit, I always squat, but like. I got that little sway going on. I kind of got a smile. Like, I'm like, I can't wait to get back to the party. Yeah,
like I'm having a good time.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, and then you come back to the party and you're just like ready to fucking keep going. Yeah. That's my problem. Like, jeez.
Let's eat a couple chips in our intermission.
Okay.
Action.
Another funny story that I had was this one time I was still, I think, in grade like 10 or 11, and so it must have been grade 10 because I was more so like keeping it a secret. Like I'd leave the house and get baked. Anyway, it was like super late out, and I got, you know, the long road like to get to Tim's house, like before you get into the cul-de-sac, like you drive over that little like bridge where there's like the ravine and like the trails. So anyways, I remember one night I got dropped off like super late. Like I don't know why I couldn't have got dropped off closer to like the cul-de-sac opening, but like I got dropped off at the end of that
like before
road.
The bridge?
Way before the bridge. Oh, and so super big, here comes like the Paranoia, and so I like, it was like really windy, it was like almost fall.
I would have been so scared.
And it was dark out, and I don't like the dark, and so anyways, the bushes were rustling, and like I was just like tripping out. Like I remember I had a Starbucks drink. I was Starbucks or Tim Hortons. Anyways, I was looking to the left and looking to the right, and like literally the bushes were like, you know, and so I dropped my drink and I just booked shit home. Like I ran the whole way home. I put my drink down so slow, got up and just booked it home. I think back on that now, like at the time I was so fucking, I was just baked, but I was scared. Like I was like the leaves were rustling. I just put my drink down and I booked shit home. Yeah. Like, but like I wonder why now didn't he like drive me down that road and just like park outside the cul-de-sac?
I wonder if because you were stoned or something. I was like paranoid and you're like, oh, I don't want them to know, or something like that.
Drop me off the farthest away. Like, but yeah, I always think back to that because that was so funny.
Yeah, I would have been freaking out, especially if you're stoned. Okay, this is bad, but I used to drive home stoned, like late at night, and it was when my dad lived like way out of town, so I was driving on the highway, and one, my eyesight's shit. It was better then, than it is now, but it was still not good. And so it's like pitch black, there's no lights because we're like on the highway.
Yeah.
And I would see the same thing all the time. It wasn't there, but I would like see it. And I would think, I would be like tripping out because I was paranoid, and I'd be driving and I'm like trying to go highway speed, and I'm like driving.
Bella
and
moment on Twilight.
Yeah, I think that I see a car with no lights on, stopped on the highway, like it's like I'm coming up on it.
Yeah.
And so I'm literally driving on the highway, slamming on my brakes in the middle of the highway because I think that I'm about to like drive into this car that's not there. And it happened like 3 times back to back, and I was like, okay, whoa, like
That's
so bad.
Okay, I've had something like that happen before,
so
where the same scene happened like 3 or 4 times.
So weird. Like I kept like, what the fuck was I seeing? Like I don't know if it was because it was really dark, and it was also like winter, fall, so like there's like lower clouds, or like you know, so like maybe I was just like tripping. But
it's so bizarre how like
I should not have been driving.
See things or like you hear things. I trip out on weed. It's most of the time it's fun, like it's funny,
but sometimes it will get
it's
you.
too much. Yeah.
No, sometimes it will fucking get you.
Yeah. Before I know it, I'm cleaning. Like.
You clean? Sometimes
I clean. I get like down with it. Like
I paint. But that's a new thing.
That is a new thing.
Well, I used to paint all the time. Like when I lived at home, we always lived in like full houses, so there was like an extra room or like a furnished room or something like that. And so I always had like a painting area, like with the desk.
The furnace.
Yeah. No, it's because in the Taylor Estates house, the furnace room is fucking huge for some reason. Yeah. So it's okay. I wasn't in this weird little closet. But I always had a painting room. Like I always took art all through school, and so just like this. And there's just nowhere to fucking paint here.
Yeah.
And so I was not painting.
You need just like a little easel in that corner or something.
Yeah, I know. And like a mat. I've been ripping garbage bags in half and then laying them on the ground because I was splattering paint the other day, and it was splat everywhere. I'm like, and there's really paint going everywhere in a fucking rental.
Yeah, literally.
And so. But like Val's like, I don't know why you've been painting so much lately, like where did this come from? And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Listen here, because I love painting. Like he's like making fun of me.
Yeah.
See that? I did that.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I
wish too. No, I didn't do that. But picture that, and mine's the same.
Just pink.
Yeah, because I go to Dollarama to buy paint because I just do stone painting. It's just relaxing, it's fun. I don't think about it. If I waste paint, I'm not like, oh my god, that was expensive stuff.
Totally.
It was $2 paint, and it's still fine. Yeah. And so they don't have a lot of color options, so I'm buying like all the neons and everything.
Fun colors.
The fun colors.
Yeah.
But then when I try and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna paint something serious, I'm like, I don't even have
to. It doesn't end up being serious.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Well, it's 444.
Oh shit, protection! Why did I do this like I'm dead?
Okay, queen. Okay, queen.
Let's both have a check.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna answer a couple questions. The worst food you've ever eaten, which I think goes with this because we're stoned and you eat. And we're eating.
I would have to say
worst.
Ooh, I was so super quick to say kimchi from this fucking convenience store. It's like a little shit shack on the West End.
You got kimchi there?
Yeah, so like one of my friends that used to live in Vancouver, she lived in that apartment building above. Like her apartment building wasn't bad. It just had like a really like, you know, there's like random convenience stores. They have like just like imported stuff. Like, and they literally, it's like a little farmer's market on the outside of the store. It was kind of like that, but like she got a pickled kimchi and like it was just not for me.
Is kimchi like those little cabbage kind of things?
Yeah, but it was like
the
pickled
mini
sauerkraut kimchi or something.
Oh, is it just a weird?
Yeah, so I've never had it again.
Honestly, not too many. I will try.
I like food. I think I'm very like versatile with
Me
food.
too. I will try every kind of food once to be like, okay, I know that I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like I won't see something and be like, oh, I'm not gonna try that. I don't like it. I've always tried something just to see. Like, and there's a lot. Usually I do like it. Like I'm not picky, and but I think the one thing I cannot do, and I know you love them, but I can't fucking do oysters. The raw ones. I've had smoked ones, like, you know, they're not dry, but I guess kind of, like, you know, in the can.
Yeah.
Those ones I can do because it's not like the same slimy texture. If I'm eating an oyster, it feels like I'm eating a butter.
Oyster?
Oyster? How do you say it? Oyster?
Yeah. Yeah, oyster. I don't know.
Oyster.
I love them. I actually could eat like a dozen by myself easily.
Fuck, I could not. I've tried them multiple times. I've tried them with like all the sauces and like trying the different ones or the different kinds and all of them. No. But I don't think there's any food where I've eaten it and I'm like, this is the most disgusting thing I've ever eaten. Like I can't think of anything unless it's something that's like gone bad or something like that.
Exactly. No, honestly, same. Like I feel like for the most part, I'm not picky with food. Even things that I used to never like before, I'm like gradually like
try it again.
Like black olives or like different things. But like
olives.
That kimchi that I had, like I don't know.
Is it gonna make you not have kimchi again?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good
like
one.
oysters.
Oh, actually, okay. When I got food poisoning from Dairy Queen.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. I got these little, I thought they were gonna be like a McDonald's chicken nugget.
Yeah.
Or no. I thought they were gonna be.
I was like, don't diss their chicken strips because DQ has like good.
I thought it was gonna be the chicken strips, but it was the nuggets.
Okay.
So I was expecting the strips, like the little tenders.
Yeah.
And I was so stoked for it, and I get it, and it's these little nuggets, and I'm like, oh, that's not what I thought it was, but whatever. And I was stoned, and so I'm eating them, and I'm like, they had like a weird texture where it was like almost kind of like a slime texture, and it's a chicken nugget.
They weren't cooked.
And so I'm eating it, and I'm just like, I don't know if it's right. And so I put it aside, and then I got more stoned. I was like, man, I'm so hungry. And so I just quickly ate these fucking chicken nuggets. And the next day at like 11:30, so it was like a certain amount of time. Because usually when you have food poisoning, it comes like 6 to 10 hours after you had the food. And it like was the perfect time frame and everything, and I just started puking. And so I called into work. I'm like, yo, I don't know what's going on, but I'm like sick.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, and I'm like, oh my god, it was those fucking chicken nuggets. They weren't cooked, or they were bad, or like both, or something. Because then I thought back to it, and I was just like, you know how you can eat things when you're stoned? Like, you go and you find something in your fridge, and you can put something together where you would never eat that, but it's working. Yeah. And it was just the same thing. I'm like, just quickly ate them. And then I thought back to it the next day, and I was like, fuck, it was totally those fucking chicken nuggets. Because I thought it was going to be the chicken tenders with the strips.
Yeah, and they're like crunchy.
Yeah, because they're like super deep fried. Yeah.
You haven't had them again?
No.
I haven't even had Dairy Queen? No.
Which makes me really sad. I will have the pretzel sticks. Shout out to the pretzel sticks from Dairy Queen. Those are fucking good. Have you tried them?
No.
Oh my god.
I don't care for pretzels, really.
Like the soft pretzels, and they're warm and soft, and they got the big chunks of salt, and the dip that you dip them in. Ooh.
Okay, actually that's a lie. I've never had them for Dairy Queen, but Nordstrom has a good pretzel with like a cheese dip.
Oh.
So me and a girl that I used to obviously
work with, those.
We shared one once, and it was really, really good. Really good.
I just realized my reaction to the cheese dip. I was like, oh.
Hallelujah.
No!
You're like a powder.
When Jada came to visit, we went to the mall in Richmond, or was it Richmond?
Metro.
Yeah, I think it was Metro. And on the bottom floor, it's this little family. It's the same people every time, and oh my god, they make the pretzels, and they also do like the classic pretzels, or you can do the flavored ones, or you can do the little pretzel sticks where they put the cheese in it. Oh, so good. So good. We're gonna take a trip there just for pretzels.
Yes. Oh my god, okay, no, actually, I want to go to 7-inch Waffle House. They have waffles.
Is this new?
Yes. They have waffles shaped like penises and vaginas.
Oh my god.
And BGs.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, I think you actually sent me that. I think it was a penis, a waffle penis.
Yeah. I'm trying to look it up.
What's it called? 7 inches?
7-inch Waffle House. It's so funny because 7-inch, yeah, Waffle House.
Why am I sitting like this? Like
It's on West Broadway, so it's like across the bridge by Mount Pleasant.
Oh, okay.
But still,
we should do a food day trip.
There. Like
a food trip in the car.
On.
We can go here for breakfast, get a penis waffle.
Okay, how about we do that on Monday?
And then we can go to Metrotown Mall for a pretzel for lunch.
Yeah.
And
every inch counts. Like seriously, I think that's so cute.
That's so cute.
I know, right? It was funny because I think for a period of time I was like calling my vagina my shishi, and my boyfriend would be like, "Oh, your shoo shoo," like.
You're like,
couldn't remember that
what
I was a shishi, and he was like, "What are you calling it?" And I was like, "A shishi."
He's like,
and he would be like, "Vishi," and I was like, "No." It was so funny, like so cute.
Vishi,
Yeah.
shoo shoo.
My shishi.
Is that what? Wait, what does Jersey Shore call it? Is it kuka?
Is it? Like, look at that.
Oh my god. What is the name they use for vagina on Jersey Shore?
A grenade.
No, that's a fucking crazy bitch. Fuck.
Honestly, I kind of want to watch Jersey Shore again, but I'm like, is that good for my mental?
It's so good for mine. Just like relaxing watching Jersey Shore.
Literally.
Remember when Snooki gets punched at the bar by that fucking dude?
I actually, like, for a really long time after Snooki and JWoww, I watched her, like...
Have you seen them now?
Yeah, with her kids and, like, her family, and, like, I like watching people, like, in moments in time like that.
Yeah, and she used to be, like, so trashy, and now she's, like, this cute mom. Oh, yeah, Kuka. It was Kuka. Okay, Kuka.
I do that sometimes.
I'm gonna zoom in on it again. Somebody call 911. Shawty's happening on the dance floor. Woo.
Yeah.
Grabbing on it and hopping on it, and it goes real slow. Grabbing on it.
Hopping on it.
Oh my god, that's so inappropriate. Riding on it.
Oh my god, okay. One
7
last
inch.
funny story. My mom, she used to work at an old folks home, and this guy, or no, this older grandma, she was like, "I need a G-man." And my mom was like, "What's that?" And she was like, "Get in, get on, and get out."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Words to live by.
I know, right? I thought that was always so funny when she told me that. I actually died laughing. So
Get
it's
in,
like somebody's grandma.
get out.
No, get in, get on, and get out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, a G-man. That's so funny.
A G-man.
Yeah.
She don't need no little G thing.
Alright.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a little bit different, but I feel like it was way more, not way more fun, but like we were, no, because we're just like talking so much,
No,
you know what I mean? Like we were
100%.
more like in it, like
Come get your cat.
yeah, quiet on set. What was I saying?
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us in your house.
Yeah.
Or in
On
the
your
houses.
car.
Yeah.
On your car radio.
Just clap for that. On your car